Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Formula Virtual Racing. We are here for the restart, and we are currently going through the grid. I am once again joined by Brendan. Brendan, how are you doing for a second time?
I'm doing alright now. We do have 16 well, given you are a spectator, you are able to. Have all the drivers we had from the previous quality session, so...
Yeah, it's good to see everybody decided to show up again. And we won't have a formation lap this time. I believe I still have to turn it off, but it will be turned off. We are currently running through the grid. You're watching me making it live. Oh, look at you all, lucky getting the in-depth stuff. I think it's still just me watching the stream, but hopefully everybody will be back soon. We are currently running through the grid. It is Lewis McWilliam on pole, Thomas Main second, Jake Marsh third, Tim Wenting fourth. It is Walbers fifth, Jack Redmond sixth, Juan Hernandez in seventh. It is then Avestigo Badi in eighth, followed by Aaron McFall in ninth, and then we do have Borbune in 10th, Chloe in 11th, Tyler in 12th, followed by Adrian 13th, then it is Bill 14th, then it is Liam 15th, and Sam 16th. And the grid, ladies and gentlemen, is set, and we just have to get the formation lap off, and we're ready to go. That was a fairly quick restart. Thankfully, we will get the formation lap. It is already turned off. I am one step ahead of everybody. We are ready to go, ladies and gentlemen.
I just want to make sure, hopefully, obviously everyone here will have to start on the tyre they originally had planned to start on, which would have been shown by the...
Yes, of course, you have to do that. You have to start on the tyre that you
that
did
includes
start
every single driver, not just the top 10.
Yes, that is absolutely everybody who does have to do that.
Did I send that to info?
I already did, I believe.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did.
It's not an no, but you didn't send a screenshot. People might have forgotten it.
Well, if they've forgotten it, they're a bit silly, aren't they? But we will send the screenshot.
Juan Hernandez already saying that Borbune will get a start like he did in Torpedo League. In this case, Juan Hernandez, obviously in Torpedo League, Juan Hernandez went from P9 to P1 on the soft tyre, but his tyres did die off.
Here we go then, we're going to get ready. It's going to be a fairly quick start because of no formation lap, but we will be going soon. And Brendan, any change to your prediction?
Not really, but some of these hard tyre runners might find it a little bit harder, really, to get a good start, because you're pretty much... Who readied up?
Oh well.
Somebody's forgetting their setup here.
Somebody's forgotten their setup. I wonder who it is. We will wait and see. Let us know down below what your predictions are, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to see it. Oh, sorry, we want to see it. Do let us know down below. Somebody forgot their setup. I'm excited to see who. As we are waiting to get ready. We will be going fairly soon. But it's an all dry race, thankfully. No rain affecting this one, but it is Spain and it is the summertime. It is a very nice place to be. It is a very, very nice place to be. As we're getting ready to go now, folks. 27 seconds till we'll get ready for lights out. No formation lap this time. Because it...
Straight into action.
If you've seen, it broke the game. Which was exciting, and then we believe it did get started eventually. But Jack Redmond... drove everybody into the wall, which was fantastic.
Singapore Season 4 comes to mind.
Yeah, except it was Lewis this time and not Legend. We're getting ready to go on the grid, folks. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5. Red lights. We go racing in Barcelona. Lewis McWilliam gets a launch ahead of Thomas Main, but it's really slow off the grid for almost everybody. There's a Williams in the wall. It's Glennon in the wall at the back after a great qualifying, and Thomas Main takes the lead into turn 1, followed by Tim Wenting. Juan Hernandez has completely missed his braking into turn number 1. It's a chaotic start. He's off in the runoff, takes the correct way. Jake Marsh in the wall. Big crash for Jake Marsh, but he is not out of the Grand Prix. He is still going. Look at Borbune on the softs. Borbune's gone for the podium. podium. Borbune in 4th position.
way.
Amazing start by Borbune. 7 positions on lap number 1 of Estego's Bardi, getting a good start as well.
He tapped his teammate.
The two Hasses almost colliding. Look at Borbune round the outside. This is the advantage the soft compound tyres have, folks. Borbune is into 2nd place and may take the lead of the Spanish Grand Prix on lap number 1. What an unbelievable start for Borbune. That's Sam Davis around at the back, and it looks like Aaron McFall is picking up some positions. Here he goes for the lead. Borbune for the first ever time in his career to possibly lead the opening lap of a Formula Virtual race. Unbelievable. 9 positions in 1 lap. What a race start for Borbune, who leads the opening lap of the Spanish Grand Prix. If he can navigate these few corners well, I fear he may be swallowed up in the next few laps, but that is unbelievable stuff. Borbune leads by a second here in Catalonia, and it looks like a Vestago Badi. Something has happened here. It's all sorts of chaos in the back, and it looks like a Vestago Badi has had a bit of trouble through the final corner. These hard tyres have not heated up well. It is the biggest gainer as Borbune, as to be expected, as there was a Red Bull of Bill Nowick around in the final corner. There's the tyre choice, ladies and gentlemen. There is people pitting Sam Davis and Jake Marsh, but it is softs for Borbune, as we've seen, as he is leading the race. It is hards for Thomas Main, hards for Tim Wenting, mediums for Jack Redman, hards for Juan, Walbers, McFall, McWilliam, Davison, mediums for Gobadi and Teish, and mediums for Houseman. And then now these guys have all changed tyres back here. They have made that mandatory pit stop, but there is yellow flags left, right and centre. It's Adrian Teish who is around now. Adrian is around, and this is an crazy start to this Grand Prix. Unbelievable stuff. Borbune 9 positions to lead the Spanish Grand Prix, with Thomas Main, the real charger, who is probably on the better strategy. Borbune will have to make a very early pit stop off those soft tyres, and it is the Williams around of Glennon around at turn 1. Very unfortunate there. It's been a poor race start for Chloe Glennon, who looked like she may take some points today after a fantastic qualifying, but it's FVR, anything can happen. Thomas Main lining up the rear. Borbune will lead. He'll lead the second lap, and it won't be a fastest lap of the race. The fastest lap of the race belongs to Jack Redmond on the medium compound tyres in the AlphaTauri. It looks like Walbers is going to go for Hernandez here. This could be a bit of a scary moment for the home faithful, as there is a yellow flag in the middle sector. I believe that is Bill Nowick. The backmarkers are really not having a good evening, I think, so far. Thomas Main right on the back of the leading Haas of Borbune. As we said, those tyres are going to drop off quickly, and it's a mistake by Borbune. Thomas Main up the inside, which is going to become the outside. Borbune keeps it up the inside. Thomas Main going to have to go the long way around the outside. He'll get the traction. Absolutely excellent move by Thomas Main to retake the lead at the Spanish Grand Prix. It was good while it lasted for Borbune, and he tried to do his best to hold Thomas Main up from teammate Tim Wenting. Apologies, but Tim Wenting is going to be right on Bune's tail here, and it may be the Dutchman and the Belgianman fighting for well, Borbune is Dutch as well, but you know what I mean. Lewis McWilliam had a horror start. He's back up to 7th, and he is 1 spot behind his teammate Walbers. I can't pronounce his first name, I won't lie to you folks. It's a very difficult one. You Dutch folks could definitely pronounce it, but we'll have to wait and see. Tim Wenting is right on the back of Borbune here, and this could be a swap of position for the two Haas cars. They did not dream of being 2nd and 3rd. It would be the best ever result if they could finish like this, but Tim Wenting will glide past Borbune, and he will take 2nd place here in this Spanish Grand Prix. Walbers right on the back of Hernandez, but just does not have enough straight line speed to pass Juan Hernandez. That is Sam Davis around in the 2nd sector. He's lost it through turn number 9. Sam, of course, was living the life in Aruba, and he is back now and just getting used to the game, I believe, because there's been a patch since he left, and Borbune's run wide again. Big mistake by Borbune. He's got to lose 2 spots here, and after such a promising start, he's tapped the home faithful, the home favourite, apologies, Juan Hernandez, and Juan Hernandez has had a big slide. He's tapped the back of Borbune, and he's been sent round, and he will drop behind Aaron McFall in 8th. I don't really think that one was Borbune's fault. It almost looked like Juan just had a snap after making the tap, and Juan Hernandez is down to 8th place now. Really unfortunate for the Spaniard. But Thomas Main leads 1.2 seconds ahead of Tim Wenting. Jack Redmond is just about keeping with his old friend Tim Wenting. And they used to race together back in F1 2019 league, not this one, so I won't mention it, but in a league, used to race together, these two, know each other a long time. Yellow flag, it is Tyler Davison who is around. It is Mr. Padman who is on an adventure. It is also Walbers around on the pit entrance. Oh, that's a dangerous spot to spin. Luckily avoids everyone and luckily gets out of the way before Liam Houseman attacks the corner. Well, that is unfortunate for Walbers, who was running well. He was running in fourth, I believe, although Borbune has recovered here. He has got back up to fourth.
Oh, we got 2 off.
That is Sam Davison, who was about to go a lap down to race leader Thomas Main. That is Adrian off as well, and that's Sam going for another spin round, and unfortunately he's going to have to let his teammate Jack Redmond lap him, and that's no good feeling for any Grand Prix driver, any racing driver of any stature. Does not like to be put a lap down by his teammate. I'm sure Callum Ilott loves IndyCar. He doesn't have a teammate, it's just him. Thomas Main also doesn't have a teammate, so I suppose he can't get put a lap down by it, and that's Sam Davison around again. Unfortunately, a lot of drivers struggling around the circuit of Barcelona, Catalonia. It's a 1.8 second lead, though. Thomas Main is really working this car well around this track. Oh, it's contact there between Borbune and Aaron McFall, and Juan Hernandez is going to slide through. Aaron McFall with a big dive, it seems. Vestigo Badi getting all out of shape. Borbune's tyres have seemed to fallen off at a really early point in this Grand Prix, and Vestigo Badi is past Borbune now. It is 7th for Avesta, it is 8th for Borbune, who led the opening 2 laps of this race. So unfortunate for Borbune, but the soft tyres are really only good for 1 or 2 laps. They're only good for qualifying, to be frankly honest, as Sam Davison is around again, unfortunately, in his AlphaTauri, and his adventure for points may just be over. Swap of position, it is McFall past Hernandez. Hernandez losing a spot to the Irishman of Aaron McFall, and that is the yellow flag. I believe it is Adrian Teich who has gone round. As there was a big field spread down the back. Jake Marsh 19 seconds behind Tyler Davison. Juan Hernandez is attacking McFall. He's revving the car to the absolute maximum. Oh, Gobadi's almost hit Hernandez. Really good avoidance by Vestigo Badi not to pile drive into the back of Juan Hernandez. And we're going to go side by side. This is scary hours for Juan Hernandez and Vestigo Badi. Can they keep it clean? Side by side through there. Unbelievable stuff from the both of them to keep it clean through there. Juan Hernandez will keep 6th position out of Vestigo Badi, but that is crazy stuff. Through turn number 7 and 8, Vestigo Badi has a look up the inside into turn number 10, locks up the left front. It'll be no move on this occasion. It'll be a look into turn number 1 for the Ukrainian.
Well, Thomas is absolutely clearing out in front. I'd say that start really benefited him. As Borbune's rise up the order entered him off. Once he got past, he could really build a gap, while the others had to wait their turn to...
Here comes the Vestigo Badi. Sorry to overcut you there, Brendan, but he's gone up the inside of Juan Hernandez, and Juan is possibly going to defend this one. He goes for the outside line, but Vestigo Badi in that Alpine just has to move there. He's compromised the line. Could Juan Hernandez possibly get the run around him? But Vestigo Badi in those medium compound tyres is a confident man, and a confident man who is now up to 6th place and can attack Aaron McFall for the top 5 spot. And unfortunately, that is Adrian Teich, who is about to go a lap down. Liam Houseman has got past Borbune, and I think it may be time for Borbune to give up the ghost and enter the pit lane. As we will enter lap number 8. He unfortunately does not have the tyres to keep up with the pack here. He led the first 2 laps though, and it'll be clipped and it'll definitely be posted on our Instagram. So well done, Borbune. One of the craziest lap ones, one of the best lap ones of a driver's career. However, we turn our attention across to Jack Redmond. Look at him on the back of Tim Wenting here. Those mediums are working a lot better. Blue flags for, I believe it's for Adrian Teich, as that is Sam Davison out of the race. He's retired in the pits, unfortunately. That's awful to see Sam have a poor race. We are delighted to have him back, however. But Sam's race ends early and ends on lap number 8. Here comes Jack Redmond. Here comes Jack Redmond down and towards turn number 1. He's got to go for the inside. Commits to the inside. Who's later on the brakes? Is it Redmond or Wenting? No. They make contact and both survive turn 1. But Jack Redmond has hit the inside of Tim Wenting. And look at Lewis, hungry behind here. He's going to try and go up the inside of the AlphaTauri. Jack makes a defensive manoeuvre. It's not enough, and it will invite Lewis McWilliam up onto the podium. He's looking to take a win today like his teammate Legend Rosenberg took last week. But Lewis McWilliam has capitalised on that mistake from Jack Redmond absolutely beautifully, and it is now McWilliam on the podium attacking Wenting. Really clever stuff from Lewis McWilliam.
Yeah, he was able to just take advantage of Tim and Jack tapping each other and being too focused on each other. Now he's going to take the P2 that Jack was looking for. Well, Jack's
there's someone off. Oh no, it's Adrian Teich.
Oh.
It is Adrian Teich letting these guys through for the blue flags. He did receive a penalty point for not doing it last week. He has learned his lesson. He has let the guys through, which is unfortunate for Adrian Teich to go a lap down. But that's how the cookie crumbles. Lewis McWilliam is going to attack Tim Wenting. Tim has no DRS and he is really struggling, although Lewis is struggling. He's had to slide out of the final corner. Turn number 16 as we enter lap number 9. We may see McWilliam make more advances to possibly taking McLaren's second win in 2 races. This is going to be a classical Formula 1 DRS pass. McWilliam leads into turn number 1 in this battle for second. Tim Wenting in third and Jack Redmond in fourth. Of Escobadi 3.4 seconds behind. He has cleared Aaron McFall and those mediums and can really dig in to try and make some moves on these guys just in front. It's only 3.4 seconds. It's definitely a catchable gap. But Tim Wenting is going to start to struggle with having the medium runners behind him. Avesta is really clawing in on this scrap. Tim Wenting could keep himself in contention if he sticks in the DRS of Lewis McWilliam, but he's going to struggle doing that, I think. Lewis has excellent pace around this circuit of Barcelona.
I'd say he can hang into that DRS. Like, you see, this little bit DRS here will mean he can hang on a little more in this last sector. And if you can do that, then get the big chunk of DRS, you can maybe hang on for 2 or 3 laps before, but a little bit oversteer like that.
Jack Redmond's made a mistake. Something's happened. Jack Redmond through turn 10. Oh no! Thomas Main is disconnected from the session. He's in the lead of the race, and this is not the first time this has happened in Formula Virtual Racing. Oh, I hope he can get back in really quickly. I really, really do, because this gap is going to fly down. And really, that could be a turning point in this Grand Prix. I hope he can get back in quickly. I really, really do, because it would be so unfortunate for a dominant Thomas Main so far in this Spanish Grand Prix. The gap is chundering down. Oh, hopefully Thomas can get back in quickly. He missed his final qualifying run because of a disconnect. I hope he doesn't miss a possible race win. We're still only on lap 10. If he can get back in this lap, he'd still hold a shout here. As we'll wait and see, as he's back in. Thomas is back in. Good to see. He's lost a load of time, but he's not going to lose the race lead. He needs to make sure he keeps control of his car, as it sometimes will have a wobble. As we'll wait and see, does he regain control? He's joined the lobby. Lewis McWilliam is absolutely hunting him down. He is closing this gap. An absolute mile a second is the Scotsman, as hopefully Thomas Main can gain control once again. Lewis is going to get in the DRS of the Belgian. When does Thomas click into his car? I believe the race lead may swap here, and it's unfortunate. Oh, he's just got back in time. It's going to be a 2:10 gap between Thomas Main and Lewis McWilliam. It was 4.4 seconds entering this lap, but a disconnect for poor Thomas Main. We'll see that fall. Here we go, down the main straight. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be a scrap, because Thomas Main now has the bit between his teeth. He has the anger. Lewis McWilliam has the commitment, and who's going to lead into turn number 1? McWilliam goes for the inside, Main on the outside. The McLaren breaks the later of the two, but Thomas Main hangs it round the outside. Thomas Main, the king of defending in Formula Virtual Racing, proves why that is his title, and Thomas Main keeps the lead of the FVR Spanish Grand Prix. Bourboon finally bails into the pit lane.
I think Bourboon just did that to make sure that the hard tyres wouldn't be overworked near the end, but hard tyres will get to the end of this point.
The mediums did quite a few laps as well yesterday in Formula Virtual Racing Academy, Brendan. I know you were one of the long stinters on those. How many laps did you do exactly?
Well, safety car was called in the lap 11. I came in around lap 14, so I pretty much did around a little under 20 racing laps on the mediums. So
that's a good, accurate representation then of what the mediums can do, as there is the Red Bull of Bill Nowick, who is going to go a lap down.
Liam Weissman's off.
Oh, Liam Weissman. He was right on the back of Wahlbergs, and unfortunately he's gone off and is going to lose a spot to Mr. Padman, Tyler Davison, who is on the pad for this evening. But here we go again. Lewis is a lot further back than he was on Thomas Main. Thomas has got back into the groove. He's regained his pace, but Lewis does have that drag reduction system that will gain him quite a lot of time into turn number 1. But Thomas Main keeps the lead. That defensive manoeuvre could be quite crucial in the result of this race. As now, Avesta Badi is clawing in on Jack Redmond. Jack Redmond has not caught back up to Tim Wenting since making that mistake. Brendan, could the hard tyres be starting to be a little bit better than the mediums?
Yes, easily.
Well, there you go. That was the simplest answer he's ever given me.
Easily. The hard tyres are the best race tyre once they are fired up.
And McFall is right in this group as well. He hasn't been dropped by Avesta Badi despite Avesta's pace advantage. And there's a wobble. That's Bill Nowick who's gone adventuring into the gravel. Bill is a lap down, mind you, but he's gone adventuring into the gravel there. And Juan Hernandez seems to be struggling with pace today. That's just something I noticed looking at the track map. Juan Hernandez is struggling with race pace.
I will say this. In the Peter League, when I was looking at... Obviously, Juan was way ahead of me as he started on soft and then pushed on. He didn't really gain much on me with fresher hards than I was on my old hards near the end of my stint. It was very
Two
much...
things in that sentence, folks. Brendan is telling you about Juan's pace and his own. No, but I do understand what you're trying to say. It's a good analogy. As Thomas Main, just quickly, while I noticed it, he's struggling on the ERS front. Look at that red light flashing on the back of the Mercedes. It is regenerating. It won't regenerate much to turn 3.
Lewis just had to burn too.
It'll regenerate.
Lewis was in the...
Whoa,
look at the
not how to
purple
pronounce that
sector
word.
from Lewis, and no positional gains from that.
Here we go. Mistake from McWilliam as he enters turn 5. He's either locked it up or he's either braked too late. He's lost 0.6 of a second, and I believe we may see Adrian Teich go another lap down here, as I can't quite imagine it's Avesta Badi in 5th. It is Adrian Teich who is around. Unfortunately, it looks like Tyler Davis. And Liam Houseman's gone again. Liam Houseman's gone again through turn 3, and Jake Marsh has pit for a fresh set of mediums here on lap 13. That's an interesting strategy. It's already his second stop of the race. It is for Adrian Teich and Glennon on the grass, and we may see another car go a lap down, as here's the front runner of Thomas Main flying into the chicane. Him and Lewis McWilliam have charged on as Glennon is into the pits. Into the pit wall, and out of the race goes Glennon, and we could see a safety car here because the car has glitched onto the racing line, and the safety car has been brought out in the Spanish Grand Prix on lap number 14. It is the first safety car of the day, and this will bring out a lot of pit stops. Instantly into the pits goes Walbers, and I imagine Tyler Davison will follow suit. He's retired from the Grand Prix as well. At the final corner has Adrian Teich.
Well, it's under safety car. I think he knew he had a time to do it. Walbert got soft.
No, that's a bad call. It'll be quick for a few laps, but that's a bad call. Someone's been held up in the pits here. It was... No, never mind. It's Adrian's retired car. Bill Nowick around.
Again.
Bill Nowick around, and Borbune sat there watching him. As we see Davison and Huisman, or Houseman, into the pits. For hards.
This has compromised Thomas, Lewis and Tim. Likes of Jack and Avesta will have a very good opportunity here now.
Yeah, Jack and Avesta will be back into this one. I mean, they weren't out of it totally, but they'll be back into it a lot more. We'll see what the front runners do. It's definitely going to be a pit stop, but Thomas and Lewis and Tim would struggle on the hards.
The mediums, mind you.
Mediums, apologies.
This is lap 14 when it was called, so...
There'll be a little bit less stress, but they will be suffering in the last 5 laps. Lewis is almost pushing Thomas Main into the pits, and Thomas Main has pulled into the pits as well as almost everybody else, as Aaron McFall charges in as well. Juan Hernandez also charges in. Juan's on I thought he was going to set us off. I just remembered his car's red. That's the reason there. We'll see. Does anyone get held up in the pits? Who wins the race on pit road, as they'd say, in the Indianapolis 500? Who is going to win it? Lewis McWilliam comes out in the lead of the Grand Prix. Thomas Main comes out in 5th position. Oh no, Mercedes have had a howler. Of course, you have to turn into the pit yourself. Maybe Thomas has just got that a little bit wrong. He's come out behind Avesta Badi in 5th position, folks. But he does have the quickest pace of the grid, seemingly. We'll have to wait and see how this one plays out, but this is taking a change.
We'll get punched behind the hard runners here. These hards will take a couple of laps to switch on. Obviously, when they do switch on, they are the quickest tyre. But the mediums, Lewis and Tim can bolt now if they get this restart right.
Of course, As we look at now, there's 2 Formula Virtual Racing Championships combined on the podium. But in 1993, Brendan, have a guess how many championships were on the podium in the 1993 Spanish Grand Prix?
Well, I believe that was Senna, Prost and Schumacher, so 7 plus 4 plus 3.
Brendan,
so
are you looking at this on your phone?
No.
Okay, fair enough. He's very good racing knowledge. I shouldn't be questioning it.
Yeah, 7 plus 4 plus 3. So
Okay, I'm going to finish my fact before you get it right. It was 14 podiums, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Brendan, unfortunately, is too clever for this commentary box. And it was 14 podiums with Alain Prost, Ayrton Senna, and Michael Schumacher, who were on the podium in 1993. It was another famous podium in 2016 with the youngest Grand Prix winner in form of Max Verstappen, the man who has won Formula 1 World Championship himself. Or, depending on who you ask, he doesn't, and he's a fraudulent driver who is terrible at his racecraft. But if you ask me, well, he has won championship.
Well, mind you, no, you have to admit that was a bit.
Brendan, I'm not discussing this. It is the 6th of August 2022. I am not discussing the 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
Oh man, it is the number one way to start an argument between Formula 1 and
Absolutely. It is the easiest way to start an argument, is just simply to say Max Verstappen is a one-time Formula 1 World Champion. You'll get killings. You'll get absolutely killings. It's just like if you were going to say that, well, oh yeah, Jack Redmond did the right thing in Singapore in season 4. It would be, oh yeah, you're starting an argument there. But well, wait and see how this championship plays up. It's interesting as it stands with no Legend Rosenberg. Of course, there's still top drivers missing tonight in the form of, well, you've Luke Davies missing, who was watching in Poland, I believe. So hello, Luke. We have Enzo King, who is missing, who's another top driver, might be challenging for a championship, but definitely a top driver. And there's more missing. Don't forget, Yuri Wessels hasn't made an impact on this season quite just yet. He missed the Austrian Grand Prix, and he is missing the Spanish Grand Prix. So it's definitely interesting, but if we look at this race, Lewis McWilliam has to be the favourite now, Brendan.
Yeah, and however, we do have I got pretty much a steward message to the steward from Juan Hernandez asking if working with another driver that isn't your teammate isn't allowed, right?
Well, I mean, it depends what working together is.
Basically, letting people go and all that.
Absolutely, you can let people go, because there's going to be people who let people go who, aren't
like 3
working
times.
Together. Well, it depends, really. Like, I don't see how you can get a penalty for letting someone through who is arguably quicker than you, because I know myself I do it as a driver. If I see, Lewis McWilliam behind me, yeah, you fly through, you're passing me in a few corners anyways, but that'll be looked at after the race. I can't imagine that much will come from it, but we're going to get ready for a restart here, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be Lewis McWilliam who leads us away. Oh, he's did this a few times as we round the final corner in Barcelona. Lewis McWilliam, the 6-time Formula Virtual Racing winner. We go racing in Spain. It's a launch, and it'll be cold tyres in towards turn number 1. Avestico Bardi has got a good restart here on Jack Redmond. He's got to go for the outside on the Irishman. This is going to be a tricky move for Avestico Bardi. Round the outside into turn 1. Excellent overtake. Jack Redmond's got all out of shape. Aaron McFall pushing the fellow Irishman. Oh, big collision here. Thomas Main involved as well. Could see his race winning chances gone, and Jack Redmond is down to the back of the grid. Aaron McFall was tagging the back of him, and it looks like it sent Jack Redmond round and to the left, straight into the front wing of the Belgian at Thomas Main. He's gone from P1 to P11. He's come a cropper there.
The look who profited from it all, Juan Hernandez.
He's up to 4th. Was that the teamwork you were looking for, Juan? We'll have to wait and see as he enters turn number 9. Juan Hernandez up to 4th in his home Grand Prix. Last time and the only time we raced here at Spain, it was heartbreak for Juan Hernandez, who's seen his championship chances possibly fall back in season 5. The Ferrari man, him and Jake, won the Constructors' Championship last season, of course. They were one of the only teams they were the only team not to score points in round number 1. They're doing a much better job here with Hernandez 4th, Marsh 9th. They're on for some decent points here. We're only on lap 18 though. There was a lot of this race left, as it looks like it is Tyler Davison. No, it's not Tyler Davison. Tyler Davison is in a battle. It is Bill Nowick, the other Red Bull, who is a lap down, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, but he has gone for another spin, unfortunately, there for Bill Nowick. Thomas Main making up some moves. There's no damage on that Mercedes, or maybe there is, but he's up to 10th spot. Excellent move by Thomas Main, passing the struggling Liam Hausman. Thomas Main, if he could win from here, it would be an unbelievable feat, but Thomas Main has did more surprising things, and he's surprised us much, much more. Who has the fastest lap, Khalil asks. We will take a quick look if we can find it, as it belongs to Jake Marsh with a 20 flat. Maybe that's why Khalil wanted us to check it. Khalil is the Ferrari team boss, but we'll wait and see here, as I imagine somebody will beat that towards the end of the race. There may be somebody pitting
Lewis
for the soft compound tyres here. He has, as this Borbune gone at the back, and Borbune, the man who led the opening lap of the race, as Lewis has gone as well. Lewis McQuillian, for the second time in 2 weeks, has made a crucial mistake in the lead of the Grand Prix, and the man who was leading the Spanish Grand Prix, he looked comfortable, almost broke DRS, has gone out of the chicane, and now look who he's just parked behind. Thomas Main is who he is behind, and he's side by side with Liam Hausman. He's 3 wide in towards turn number 1. Who is going to pay victim of this one? Jack Redmond, the man who makes it 3 wide, is the man who pays victim of this one, and that was an accident waiting to happen. Jack Redmond now falls behind Borbune, and I believe that maybe Jack Redmond's chance is over. That was a poor decision to make it 3 wide into there. But Tim Wenting now leads the Spanish Grand Prix. What a return it would be for Tim Wenting, whose last race win was in season number 3. Round number 3 was the last time Tim Wenting won a race. I believe it would beat the record for longest gap between race wins. Of course, Jack Redmond did have that one, but he won the season 3 Brazilian Grand Prix, which was the final round of that season. It will be an interesting one, and we will have to wait and see what develops out of this. Lewis McWilliam has passed Liam Hausman. Liam is really struggling, unfortunately, in this Grand Prix. He is down to 10th now, and is 1.3 seconds behind Lewis already. Lewis is going to push the absolute maximum to try and get back up. But Juan Hernandez, to the Spaniard's delight, finds himself on the podium.
Not too far away from Avesta and Tim. It's possible that he could make something of this, although Avesta at the moment looks
Jake
best
Marsh
placed.
past Tyler Davison. You look Ferrari making moves. Tyler, of course, driving on the pad, and I have to say, doing a very good job, but I believe he may be passed by Thomas Main. It's not Tyler's speciality. Tyler is a wheel racer true and true, but unfortunately having some issues with it at the moment, and Thomas Main will dive down the inside and will go up to 7th in this Grand Prix. Thomas Main, the guys in front of him haven't pulled as much as he would like. If we get another safety car, he's well and truly still in this bout.
Yeah, another safety car would help him, but at the moment you wouldn't see anyone who's really going to cause it, although we maybe don't know if he's having multiple spins.
There was a yellow flag just as Brendan said that. Oh, we'll wait and see.
Tim, I think, has had a little moment.
He's had a little moment through 9, but Avesta Gobani's really comfortable in these hard compound tyres. The Ukrainian is looking very, very comfortable, and I'm looking at our stat sheet now, and I'm right in saying Avesta's not won a Grand Prix yet. I thought he definitely had won one.
No. Avesta never really was able to win a Grand Prix before. He always had pace.
Here he goes, he's going to lead a Grand Prix though. He's going to take the lead of the Spanish Grand Prix, as Avesta Gobadi has got past Tim Wenting, and Avesta Gobadi leads on lap 21 out of 33. That'll be an historic story for Avesta Gobadi to come back after an unfortunate season suspension to win a Grand Prix. He's rocking around in that Alpine, and Tim Wenting will have to keep up with the Ukrainian, as Juan Hernandez is pushing as well behind. He's on the mediums, just like Tim Wenting, but as Brendan said, the hard compound tyres are a much better race tyre here.
Well, yeah. Once they're woken up, and I think Avesta has done that at this point. That's Bill Nowick around again.
Khalil corrected me there. I remember he won Russia season 4 on the circuit, but he didn't quite take the race win there. The Ukrainian of Avestigobadi, though, is looking comfortable here. Tim Wenting keeping in his DRS, so there is still pace on board that Haas. But we will have to wait and see. It looks like Walbers is right on the back of McFall here, and Aaron McFall seems to be struggling a little bit compared to Austria. Had brilliant pace in Austria, but lost out to the McLaren team. It was Lechen Rosenberg that day. Will it be fellow Dutchman Stuart Walbers on this one? We'll have to wait and see. As Avesta's almost pulled out of DRS, and I believe if Avesta pulled out of DRS, he would absolutely go, and I think he might just do that this lap. We have 11 laps remaining of the Spanish Grand Prix. It is Gobadi leading from Wenting, leading from Hernandez, leading from Walbers, who takes P4 off Aaron McFall in towards turn number 1. Lewis has got past Tyler. It's side by side with Thomas Main and Jake Marsh. Here he goes. What's happened here? Oh, Lewis has been around. Lewis round.
He's been punted, I think, by Tyler. Or it could have been maybe by Bill, but I don't think Bill would be in a position to do that.
Tyler Davison involved with an incident in Lewis McWilliam, and that unfortunately is a historic statement because they've had many an incident in Austria in season 5 or season 5 it was, where
season 4 I think.
No, it was season 5, because in season 4 it was the season opener. In season 5 it was the Enzo King win.
No, you've got that wrong way round. Season 5 was the opener. Season 4 was in the middle where Enzo King won and Lewis got punted off. Okay.
Back to this race then anyways, because Tim Wenting is catching Avesta Gobani, and Juan Hernandez is
very close.
Yeah, very close to the back of Tim Wenting. Rounding the final corner. As Tim got into DRS, he just about keeping it there. That was really close.
I think Tim is going to be very susceptible to one if/when he falls out of DRS.
Thomas Main has got past Jake Marsh now, and is now up to 6th. Yes, Khalil, I know it was season 4. Brendan just told me that, so thank you. For telling me again. This is what life is like with Khalil and Brendan. They will pick up on every mistake you make. But Juan Hernandez, I thought he would be closer to Tim, as there was a yellow flag. Is that Tyler Davison round? No, it is Bill Nowick, unfortunately, at the back, and Bill's not had a good race at all. He is 2 laps down now at this point. He is 1 minute and 25 off the car in front of him, and Red Bull are not having a good day of things, because Tyler Davison, as we said, is under investigation. That collision with Lewis. Seemingly. We have to wait and see, but Lewis is not winning this race, a race he would have wanted to win, and it looks like we may get a first timer in the form of Avesta Gobadi, because he is leading, but here comes Juan Hernandez, the Spanish home hero, right on the back of Tim Wenting. This would be a big move for Juan. If he could get it done, he'd be up to 2nd, and he would get his season really kick-started. He won the 2nd race of the season last season in the French Grand Prix. Juan Hernandez is going to take 2nd place in the 2nd race of the season this season. He is up to 2nd and past Tim Wenting. Fastest lap of the race now belongs to Thomas Main, who is flying on the back of Aaron McFall. Thomas still wants to say his piece in this Grand Prix. He'll want to try get back on the podium in some shape, but Aaron and oh no, Juan's gone. Juan has made a mistake through turn number 3. Just as he's taken 2nd place, the Scuderia Ferrari-man has taken a spin round and is now down to 5th place, promoting Stuart Walbers up to 3rd. Oh, it's a big mistake by Juan. I'd say it's unfortunate, but it's unfortunate for the fans. It's a mistake, and it's a mistake Juan has made a few times in a few seasons. He is now in 5th place in his home Grand Prix and will have to fight to work his way back up to the position he was once in, and he's ran wide through turn number 9 as well. He's going to be under pressure from Thomas Main. Juan is trying to push to attack Aaron McFall, but it's almost at the point where he might have to fall behind. It's in the pit lane.
Yeah.
It's in the pit lane, so all is okay. As we are down to 12 runners, unfortunately, in the Spanish Grand Prix. We'll see come Juan Hernandez make it into the top 4 runners of the Spanish Grand Prix. He's right behind Aaron McFall, but Thomas Main is right behind him. Thomas is low on ERS. He's been pushing to try and work his way back up from that unfortunate pit stop. And we'll wait and see. Can't quite get past one, as it seems like these guys are in a DRS train. Jake Marsh is stuck behind them as well. And Tyler Davison is 5 seconds off this train. But Avestigo... Oh, Avesta's around! Oh no, we were just going to say he's really comfortable. But Avestigo Badi, as we go on board the Alpine, has spun. And that man who was dominant in the Spanish Grand Prix. Everyone who leads this race is being absolutely cursed. Avestigo Badi is down to 7th. Tim Wenting leads the Spanish Grand Prix. On lap 25 out of 33, Stuart Walbers may take second, and Aaron McFall is in third. Unbelievable! Avestigo Badi has made the spin, and now look at the DRS train for the lead. Tim is just about hanging Walbers outside of it.
I'm not mistaken. I think Aaron McFall would lead the championship here if this...
Yeah, Stuart has that penalty, of course. I don't know what it was for. It's a 3 seconds, so... It's track limits, and unless it was a glitch that caused it, he'd drop to 6th position, I believe.
He's kicking himself here. He could have been in the lead of his home Grand Prix.
Juan would be leading the Spanish Grand Prix if it wasn't for that spin, but it seems like once you make it onto the podium, bang, round you go. That's Avesta Lewis. Thomas did have that disconnect, so it wasn't his fault, but it was still leader's curse. And then, of course, that in the pit lane, we're not quite sure if that was his own fault. That is Liam Houseman, who's gone before turn 1. That's an interesting... Ooh, that's weird. His front wing is gone, and May was Lewis McWilliam involved in that one. Jack Redmond, I did see a car with him, and unfortunately Liam House. That's a confusing one. He'd have to be swiped, surely. That's the only conclusion to being in the wall before turn 1. Yeah, maybe that as well. But Tim Wenting has lost 0.3 of a second to Stuart Walbers. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a DRS train between the top 7 almost, because Avestigo Badi's going to make it in as well. This is... Here we go, folks. This is great stuff. Stuart Walbers, could he win on his debut for McLaren? Unbelievable that would be. Oh no, he can't win on his debut. Stuart Walbers has gone round into the pit lane. And it seems to be, if you make it onto the podium, you are cursed. Juan Hernandez is going to go for 2nd place here. The 2 McLarens are down in 8th and 9th. McFall versus Hernandez. Hernandez to the outside. Oh, they made contact. No. Juan Hernandez, brilliant car control. He's bailed out of it. He is absolutely bailed out of it. Brilliant car control to not lose it into Aaron McFall there. And these guys are still battling despite Juan vacating the track. He's gone up the inside and they've almost made contact. Liam Houseman has crashed at the final corner, and this may bring out the safety car. What is happening? Juan, he's gone onto the grass, and Thomas Main is trying around the outside, but while he's trying around the outside of one Ferrari, he's being absolutely dived by the other. Jake Marsh in 5th spot, trying to make it up. Tim Wenting has gone up the front because of that battling between McFall and Hernandez, and Avestigo Badi could still win this race, because look at this advantage he has on grip. He's going to try up the inside of Jake Marsh, who holds the inside line, but Jake Marsh just dived Thomas Main. He's missed his brakes by a huge amount. Avestigo Badi could get 2 in the 1. He's trying round the outside of the Belgian Thomas Main, leaving as little possible space as he can, and as they're side by side into the final sector, Avestigo Badi tries to pressure around the outside and into the chicane. He's dived it, he's missed his braking, and Thomas Main is trying the long way. He's pushed onto the sausage curb, and Jake Marsh is now up the inside as well. This is unbelievable battling we're having. They've both weaved at the same time. Jake into the back of Avesta. Not really Avesta's fault. It was a similar wheel banging between these two. It's gotten personal into turn number 1. Avesta doesn't quite dive him. He wasn't quite close enough, but now these guys are 2 seconds off the podium, and Juan Hernandez has a bit of breathing room behind him, and I need a bit of breathing room behind me because this is an unbelievable Grand Prix.
Well, Juan, he's got about 5 laps after this lap to go win the Grand Prix, but in order to do this, he'll need to catch Aaron and pass in order to then close up to Tim. He
seems to have the pace to do it though, but he's not quite catching Aaron McFall. Aaron doesn't have the DRS on this lap, but if he gets it, then we'll bunch right back up, folks. Jake Marsh has cleared a bit of space between himself and Avestigo Badi, and Thomas Main, I fear, has picked up some damage because he is struggling behind Avestigo Badi. He's really struggling.
I think Thomas he hit the back of Juan in that earlier scrap, as Juan was a little off-roading, and then I think Thomas arrived at the
Thomas
wrong
was
time.
pushed over that yellow sausage curve that we can see there on the left-hand side as well.
Juan's got the run on Aaron.
Here comes Juan Hernandez. He's going to go for second position, and Juan Hernandez makes the job done. Oh, it's a bit of personal wheel banging. Juan, don't ruin the race like this. Aaron McFall's going to try hold it round the outside, and he has to vacate and bounce over the exit sausage curves. He doesn't quite take the run off there by the game, but there was no rule implemented. Let's try that word again, shall we? Welcome to Words with Evan. I struggle to pronounce. It was... I can't even remember what I was going to... Let's just move on, shall we? Juan Hernandez is going... organisms. Oh, no. I am a horrendous commentator when it comes to pronouncing some words, but let's move on, shall we? It is a 1.1 second gap between Tim Wenting and the home hero, Juan Hernandez. Avesta is almost into the DRS of Aaron McFall to make it a four-way scrap for the race lead. Juan needs to push and get in the... He's in the DRS of Tim Wenting. It's in and out, in and out. He needs to push through this corner and he'll get in it, possibly. He has pushed through the corner. And I think he's just about got through it because the activation point is late on this straight. But here we go. Juan Hernandez, even with a spin, could he do it Verstappen style and take the race win in Hungary?
Waiting for that mention.
I didn't mean to. It kind of just ran off the tongue. Well, we'll wait and see. This has got to be a big shuffle in the championship. I think Aaron McFall might still lead it because, of course, Juan and Tim didn't score points in Austria, and Aaron picked up a second place.
Yeah, that is true. Avesta is here as well. I do believe we may have a tie for the championship lead.
Yeah, Avesta finished third behind Aaron. No, Aaron will be leading because Aaron has second and third. Yeah. Look at Juan.
If these two swap, which they could well do, Avesta's heart will still be in very good shape.
Yeah. That's the scenario.
Aaron's at a moment.
Oh, he's had a moment, and here we go. It's side by side, and Avesta Gomani has swapped. Brendan, are we just predicting this race? Is this just... What's that movie? Is this just Jumanji FVR edition? Whatever you say happens. I think it was that movie. I don't really know. I make too many movie references on these streams, but I think it was Jumanji. No, that was the one with the board game. Oh well, scrap it. Here comes Juan Hernandez on lap 31 of the Spanish Grand Prix here in Catalonia. Oh, it'd be unbelievable to see him win it, but I don't really want to say anything because I've made way too many commentators' curses. Here comes Juan Hernandez. He's got a poor exit, actually, out of that corner.
No, he's gaining.
Here he goes. Is he going to go for it in towards turn number one? Juan Hernandez. Is it going to be a late dive? No. Juan Hernandez with a mature moment there. He's backed out of it. He knows he's the pace on Tim Wenting. He needs to watch it and needs to be careful. He's going to have to take this race lead very soon because Avesta Gobadi, the Ukrainian, a man who also has had a spin in this race, is all over the back of him. Oh, this will be an unbelievable end to the finish. We haven't had a race this close in quite a while as Juan has had a wobble and the Alpine of Avesta Gobadi is pressurising the Scuderia Ferrari car of Juan Hernandez, who would be clear in this race if he didn't make that earlier mistake. But if Avesta didn't make a mistake, he'd also be clear in this race. So it is really, call a spade a spade, they're both in the same scenario for a reason. That is Walbers off in sector number one. He set the fastest lap of the race. He will still pick up a point for it, as he is still in this one. As Avesta's had a wobble. This could be Juan Hernandez's moment to lead his home Grand Prix. He's did it on one occasion. He, unfortunately, didn't even finish that race. He's had a wobble out of the final corner. Tim Wenting is looking for his first win since Season 3. Juan Hernandez is looking for his first win on home soil. Who will take it? Tim Wenting is flying down the straight in this Haas.
You see, Tim's burned his ERS. I think Juan is waiting for a final lap dash.
We've had a final lap shootout in the last Spanish Grand Prix between Tyler Davison and Legend Rosenberg. We're going to have a final lap shootout between Tim Wenting, Juan Hernandez, Avesta Gobadi, Aaron McFall and Jake Marsh, who was pulled in 2 seconds on the Irishman. They may not be all scrapping for the same position, but they will all be scrapping, and Tim has really struggled in this lap. Juan piled on the Scuderia Ferrari's brakes brakes, locks them, but keeps it going. Tyre conditions do not really matter for him now. This is all about how close he can get to Tim, and can he fend off Avesta. Avesta seems to be struggling a bit more now than he was. The Ukrainian has just burned those tyres out too quickly, but these mediums will definitely be shredded by now. Here we go. We're going to enter the final lap of the Grand Prix really soon. We are on turn number 10 of the penultimate lap. We are in Sector 3, and this is going to be the moment we could crown a Spanish winner of the Spanish Grand Prix. Will it be the legend returning? Or will it be the home redemption entering the final lap of the Spanish Grand Prix? Hernandez versus Wenting versus Gobardi versus McFall versus Marsh. This is unbelievable stuff we've had today. Here comes Juan Hernandez for the race lead in Catalonia. Is it going to be the inside? Oh, they've made contact. Tim Wenting has moved and Juan Hernandez has piled into the back of the Haasman. Dangerous manoeuvre. Some would say the stewards will have the final say, but can Juan Hernandez do it on the circuit? I'm not quite sure if he picked up damage. He still seems to be running well in towards turn number 4. Juan Hernandez, he has a front wing on the visual, but the visual is not the most accurate thing in the world. It was a light tap, but it was a tap at best, as Tim Wenting locks up the brakes. Juan Hernandez does not lock up the brakes much. It will be a dive into turn 10 if it's anything for Juan Hernandez, or will it be a drag race to the line? Only no, it's a mistake, and that's one moment gone. Juan Hernandez will not win the Spanish Grand Prix for a second consecutive season running. When he had the chance to do it, he won't even finish on the podium, and Tim Wenting may be in very much trouble for that move with Juan Hernandez. He may pick up a penalty for it, because ultimately it has cost the home hero. We're still really close here. We could still see a dive into the final corner, rounding turn number 15 and 16. Here we go. Rounding. Gobardi has a bit of a run on Wenting. What's it going to be across the line? Who is going to win it? The returning legend, Tim Wenting, wins in his return to Formula Virtual. His first race win since Season 3, Round 3. He beats Avesta Gobardi. The two legends scrap. Aaron McFall picks up a third place, a second podium of the season. But heartbreak for the Spanish crowd. Not 2 seasons on the bounce. 2 races on the bounce. Juan Hernandez will not win. Ferrari will pick up 4th and 5th, and an exceptional result for the team, but no one's going to care about that. Juan Hernandez was denied his chance once again, and unfortunately the card has not fallen in his favour.
Juan will be fuming with himself there.
I don't think Juan will be fuming with himself. I think he'll be fuming more with Tim Wenting.
Well, for the mistake, because he would have
got it into 10. I think he would have got it into turn 10. Tyler Davison picks up 9th twice in a row on pad. I think that one has to be noted.
Yeah. Borbune, this is the first time in a long time he's finished outside the top 10, but I do believe he might have got fastest lap there.
Who did? Oh, Wahlberg's got fastest lap, I believe.
Or no, I was just looking there. So would that be the end of the point scoring streak for Borbune?
No, it's the end of the point streak.
Oh no.
No. There is your podium, folks. Tim Wenting stands on the top pedestal once again. In controversial fashion, just like his last win was in round 3 of season 3. The Haas team are delighted.
Wait, Tyler said he got a fastest lap. I will make sure to check this one.
Well, we'll see it in a moment when the race was. Borbune got fastest lap. Hallelujah, folks. The point streak stays alive. Yeah, there's confirmation. He's got it with an 18-8. Brilliant stuff. Dutchman, Tim Wenting is your race winner in Catalonia, ahead of Avesta Gobardi and Aaron McFall in 3rd position. Home hero Juan Hernandez will finish 4th here in season 7. It's season 7. Ignore me. Jake Marsh finishes in 5th. Thomas Main finishes 6th. Luke Luke Davies, no. Luke did not finish in 7th. He loves finishing in 7th, but it was Lewis McWilliam who finishes in 7th. Jack Redmond finishes in 8th. Tyler Davison finishes in 9th. And Shrord Wahlberg finishes in 10th, and you will not see a top 10 with more mistakes than that ever again. Borbune finishes in 11th. Liam Houseman in 12th. Non-finishers were Bill Nowick, Clay Glenn and Adrian Teich. And Sam Davison. Wow. Brendan, who wins the safety award?
Well, I will give it to... let's see here... I'll give it to Jake. Because he wasn't really involved in anything. He generally kept it clean. Or actually, no, I can't really give it to him. It actually is very difficult. Most people did have something or other they'd be involved in. I could... yeah, we might just have to give this one to Jake here.
Jake wins the safety award. Brendan, any final words before we round up this one?
Mind you, there could be a few post-race investigations for certain...
There's events. A lot. There is a lot.
We may see Aaron and Tim under investigation.
We will also see some other people I haven't checked.
Yeah, Tyler.
We'll see a lot of people. We'll see Tyler probably. I know Jack Redmond has sent in a few clips as well, but I think that could be for the 3-wide moment, which we sort of put the blame on Jack on the stream, but you have a different point of view in other clips. But Tim Wenting wins his 3rd Formula Virtual Racing win on his return since season number 4. But ladies and gentlemen, that is all we do have time for this week. Be sure to join us next week where we head to Baku in Azerbaijan. It'll be a crazy one, just like today. Thank you for joining us, folks. We will catch you next week. Make sure to tune in to the Formula Virtual Racing Academy race next Friday in Baku. You'll be joining Jake Scarborough for that one. You could watch Brendan get another podium. Who knows? Thank you all for joining us.
That's Baku, no way.
Brendan says no way. We'll see. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. Stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you next time.